Hey, what's going on? So you've run out of hard drive space, right? You've loaded up your hard drive with all of your digital pictures, with all your home movies, with your entire music collection. You're downloading movies and TV shows all the time, and there's no more room. It's time to upgrade. It's time to add another hard drive to your system. Check it out. It's really easy to do. In fact, we've decided to take this computer, which has an 80 gigabyte hard drive, and we're going to actually add a brand new 1 terabyte hard drive. This is a Hitachi Desk Star. These are very well respected. Pretty much everybody you talk to that knows computers loves the Hitachi Desk Star. It's an extremely reliable hard drive. And so that's what we've chosen to upgrade this computer and give it a lot more room. It was very easy to run out of space with those 80 gigabytes. So we're going to kick it up to 1 terabyte. Now, literally, this is everything you need to do the upgrade. Depending on your case, really, you may need a screwdriver. That's about the only extra thing you're going to need to do this. This right here is your SATA cable. This is the cable that connects the hard drive to the motherboard. And this, of course, is the hard drive itself. On the case here, you'll see there are a number of bays inside this computer. Right here is one of your hard drive bays, and up here are more bays that you can use to expand your hard drive. You can choose whichever one you want in your case where you want to place the hard drive, just depending on ease, depending on how you want to organize the inside of your case. It doesn't really matter. So we're going to actually choose this up here because this is actually the toolless variety of bay, so you don't have to worry about actually using the screws. Depending on your case, you may actually have to screw the screws into the rail there. Every hard drive has a number of screw holes that can be lined up in a number of different configurations inside of a case. Basically, if it does take screws, you just slide it into the tray and just look for these holes to line up in 2 places, and then go ahead and lock it down. So it's very simple. The front of your hard drive is right here. The back of your hard drive is the one that has your SATA connectors and your Molex power connector on it. Okay, SATA is the current standard for connecting an internal hard drive to your motherboard. This is a very fast connection, and it also includes power on board right here. If you don't have a SATA power connector, this one will actually also use a Molex power connector on this Hitachi Desk Star. So let's go ahead and show you exactly how you do this, because it is a rather simple process. It's usually a good idea to start with plugging your SATA cable into the motherboard. Now you'll see over here, this is where right here is where our SATA plugs are. There we go. As you can see, we have a few of them right here on the motherboard. Okay. It's very difficult to plug these in wrong, because as you'll see on the cable itself, there's actually a notch cut out in this cable, which makes it basically impossible to plug this thing in incorrectly. So let's go down here, and we'll choose. You can actually choose any of the SATA ports you want to. It doesn't matter. So we're going to go ahead and plug it into this one right here. So once we have that connected to the motherboard, we are ready to plug in our hard drive. The hard drive simply slides in to the case like this. As I said, this is the one that does not require any screws and will just lock down on its own. There we go. So now our hard drive is actually in the bay. All right, now here on the other end of our SATA cable is the exact same plug, and this is actually going to go into the back of our hard drive. This is the data cable. It's going to take all the information between the hard drive and your computer. So now this is going to install. Actually, I'm going to do this first because it's furthest away from us. It's always easier to work that way. So we're going to take this and we're going to install it right back here. And of course, because of that notch, it's very easy to see which way it goes in, and it plugs right in like that, as you can see. Let me see here if we can make that a little more clear for you. There you go. And then your power plug needs to be plugged in to the drive. Now, this particular computer does have a SATA power connector on it. Now, this right here is a SATA power connector. This particular Hitachi Desk Star will also take a Molex connector, but this is the SATA power connector. So we're going to take the SATA power connector, and we're going to install that right next to the data port. Once that is plugged in, your installation is done. If you have a computer with a toolless setup, you're all set. If you have a computer that requires some screws, this is going to be the point that you take those screws maybe and cinch them down if you haven't done so already. But once you have those two cables installed, your drive is done. You turn on your computer, your BIOS will automatically detect your hard drive. Then, of course, you do need to format it. You format it for the NTFS file system, which will allow all of your big partitions and fast data reading. It's going to be all set up, and that's it. I mean, it's literally that simple. I mean, it does not require a load of technical knowledge. It does not require a technician. It doesn't require you to take it into a shop. It's a very easy thing to do to upgrade your hard drive. And of course, it's one of the most common upgrades that's done on a computer next to upgrading your memory, because it's one of those things that you run out of space. And usually, it's a lot easier to just add a hard drive than to take your hard drive out and replace it, because then you don't have to worry about copying over new files. And you have the advantage of having the two drives in your system and having all of that extra space as well. So as you can see, it's a very, very simple task to upgrade and install a brand new 1 terabyte drive into this computer. So this computer, literally in just a couple of minutes, went from having an 80 gigabyte drive to having a 1 terabyte drive with just a couple of cables and just a couple of minutes. And as we said, it's so incredibly easy to do. So go out there, upgrade your computers, have a good time, forget taking it in and having your computer be gone for 3 days while somebody who probably knows just about as much as you is doing the work on your computer. Just do it yourself and save the time, save the money, and it's fun. It's actually fun to do. It can be quite fulfilling to turn on the computer and see that new 1 terabyte drive pop up in Windows. So go out, enjoy, and upgrade your computers yourself. It's a lot easier and a lot more fun.